Hello everyone, welcome back to this Python programming series. Today we'll be looking at relational or logical operators. Now, logical operators are very important. We are learning basically all the different type of operators. Up till now we have learned arithmetic operators, comparison operators and assignment operator. Now, in the upcoming lectures we will discuss about if else and for loops. The operators will be used there, every one of them which you will learn in these videos, so you should pay close attention to them. Now, I will be starting off with my practice file as it loads. Let me tell you which are the three logical operators in Python. In all programming languages, there are three logical operators. First of all is the AND operator. Second of all is the OR, and last is the NOT. Now, if you are related to computer programming, then you obviously know of these three. Now, if you don't know, I will still tell you. Now, the AND operator basically takes two arguments, suppose x and y, and you write between them AND. The basic syntax of AND is like this. You write it as this, AND. And the basic syntax of OR is like this, and NOT is this. In most languages, usually AND or NOT are written with this: ampersand, pipes, or I think for the NOT was exclamation mark in C++ and Java. But in Python, we don't follow those traditional languages rules. We just write the names such as AND, OR, and NOT. Now this is the basic syntax. Now how are these used and where are these used? Now supposedly say there is a person Ali. Now we need to restrict Ali for only having a certain amount of pocket money. Now say we want Ali to have less than $1,000 and greater than Ali greater than $20. Now if we want to write this, we will need to the AND operator, because right now we are using two conditions. We discussed about comparison operators in the previous video. Now we cannot write them both at the same time. The only way to do that will be like this. If we write 20 less greater than Ali and 1000, this is one way, but we are going to be using the relational operators. Now going back to our Python, as you can see here, first of all I will take my input such space a number. Now this is the amount which you given to Ali. Now we want to restrict Ali for only having less than 1000 and greater than $200. So we will make it so as print Ali. I will name this variable as Ali because it will make it more clearer. Now Ali should have less than $1000 and Ali should have greater than $200. This will basically mean that if either one of the condition is false, then this will result in false. If I want to explain it more further, then it will be like this. Supposedly, I have written the condition 20 less than Ali less than 1000. So suppose I give Ali $1001. This condition will be passed because it is greater than $20, because 1001 is a greater number 20, but the second condition will be false. So the end result will be false. Now there are a few simple things about logical gates. Now first of all, let me make a new file. Nope. And int and basically suppose you have two variables x and y. If both are false, then the outcome will be false. Basically think it of as multiplication. The easiest way to remember is the D, and ends with a D, and D stands for dot, and we use dot as multiplication in mathematics. So x dot y, so 0 multiplied by 0 is 1, so 1 multiplied by 0 is still 0, and 0 multiplied by 1 is also 0, and 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. So the only way the AND gate will return true is if both the conditions are true. So Ali must have less than 1000 and greater than 200. This is the basic working of AND gate. So supposedly, if I go back to my Jupyter notebook and if I run this, and if I write 1001, it should return me false. Okay, there's an error. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I'm actually comparing strings. So a thing to notice is that I did not write int here. We will discuss about it in the later video. Basically, if you take input from Python, they are all automatically in string format. We already discussed strings, but you have to typecast them into integer. We talked about typecasting in the previous video. So if whenever you take input from the user, try to make the data the one which you want to use. So obviously I will want to use integers, as 1200, these are all numbers. So I will write integer in front of the input. This will basically convert the incoming string into an integer, and it will store the value in Ali. Now if I run this again, I will write 1001. There you go. It says false because this condition is false. Even though this is true, we learned right here that if one of them is false, the end result will also be false. So if I want to make this true, I will need to write something less. Say I guess 500. So if I run again, I will write 500. This is true. Now this was the AND operator. Now I will talking about the OR operator. Now let's go back and look at the diagram for OR operator. And I will make another one. OR operator. Now, as you know, AND operator uses a dot. In OR operator, we use the plus strategy. Suppose we make two variables again, x and y. I will give them 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. Now, 0, 0, 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is also 1. Now, some of you might be thinking 1 plus 1 is 2. Why am I writing here 1? This is a different thing. These are called bits. In computer terminology, 1 plus 1 is 1. Basically, this is not addition or numbers. These are booleans. This means true. 1 here means true and 0 here means false. So that's something to notice. Now, as we see here, every condition gives true. Our end result will be true. But the only situation in which we will get false is when both of the statements will be incorrect. So basically, even if we give Ali $1001, it will return true. Why? Because one of the condition was the sum must be greater than 200. And yes, 1001 is indeed greater than 200. So one of them is true. Basically, X is true. Now Y was 1000 less. The condition was that the input should be less than 1000. Is 1001 less than 1000? Obviously, it is not. So this will be false. But as using the OR operator, and the OR gate shows that if any one of those two is true, then this will result in an end result of true. So if I go back to Jupyter Notebook and type OR here, and if I run this, I will enter 500 first. You can see that 500 is true for both of them. It is greater than 200 and less than 1000. So if I enter, it will return me true. Now if I were to run this again, I will enter 1001. It will give me true also, because one of the condition is true. Even if the one of them is false, it doesn't matter, because OR states that any one of them needs to be true. Now, supposedly if I enter 20, what will be the output? Will it be true or false? It's true, but just because it says that it must be less than 1000. So 20 is less than 1000. This is true. This becomes false as 20 is not greater than 200. But as stated before, OR needs one of them true. Now the last operator is the NOT operator. What is the use of NOT operator? The basic use is like this. Supposedly if I go back to my paint and new, the NOT operator. Suppose I have X, a variable here. It has two inputs, either false or true. The NOT operator just does one thing. It reverses it. If you enter false in it, it will just make it true. If you enter true in it, it will make it false. Nothing else. So if I use it right here in my Jupyter Notebook right now, this condition is giving me true for entering 20. But if I enter not, then it should give me an false. There you go. Even though this is correct. This should be correct because or stated that any one of them needs to be true to return in true. So when Ali less than 1000 is executed, we get true, okay, and this gives us false. True or false gives us true. Now that true over here, I will write it true, is then reversed because of the not operator, and thus we get false. These are the three basic operators. Now if you some of you are still confused, don't worry, in the future videos in if, else and for, we will discuss more about these three operators. That will be all for this video. See you again.